All right, we're ready for our main event after those awards were given out. Our main event tonight here at Valor Fights 41 in Elizabethton, Tennessee. It's presented by Ogle, Elrod, and Burrill. Bantamweight bout. It's for the vacant Valor Championship, and it is Chris Wright Jr. from Milwaukee, Wisconsin at 8-6-1, taking on Dylan the Future Cala, 4-1 from Charlotte, North Carolina. To introduce our fighters, here's Jennifer.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready for our main event? This bout is in the Bantamweight division and is brought to you by Ogle, Elrod, and Burrill. First, please welcome to the cage, Chris Wright Jr.
Here comes Chris Wright Jr., who is out of the Rufusport camp in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, but was at KMAA in Knoxville, trained by the great Eric Turner, now a teammate of Gerald Mearshart. And so Chris Wright Jr., Casey, out first.
Yeah, what a character Chris Wright is. You know, he's had his ups and downs in mixed martial arts, but the one thing about him is that he always comes to fight, and I will say this, all of his trouble has come at a heavier weight class, 145, sometimes even 155. At 135, he is unblemished, okay? And that's something that, you know, all of his training partners talk about, that he is tremendously strong for that weight class. Dylan Cala, known for pressuring, keeping the heat on. How will that pan out here with Chris Wright?
Chris Wright lost his last three. Jonathan Pierce, who's a talented fighter, Cameron Romberg, and Anthony Morgan. The first two were in 2015. He hasn't been in the cage since 2015 as a pro. The first loss in those three straight was in 2013. So it does go back farther with those different weight classes.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, you know, Chris Wright has always been, you know, a man's fighter. Again, stepping up, short notice sometimes, fighting on some big shows there in the past. But things are different now. Things are, at Rufusport is very regimented. Of course, you see Gerald Mearshart right there helping him get ready. And that's a guy that has done some really big things. He's on a 2-fight win streak there in the UFC, two first-round submissions. The first man to knock off the All-American kid, Sid Wheeler.
That's right, which at the time was stunning for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But he's shown that was no joke in what he's done with the UFC since then. So his opponent, Dylan the Future Cala, you guys interviewed and talked to him this week as well. Another guy with a ton of confidence.
Yeah, undoubtedly, but you know, a little bit different. Their personalities are quite different. You know, Chris Wright is very boisterous. Dylan Cala, you know, he just kind of calls it like it is, you know.
Dylan Cala, 2-fight win streak. He's 4-1 as a pro and has win over Congo Bakatukanda. That was in November, and then prior to that, a victory over Jeremiah Scott. His one loss as a pro was to Tony Gravely. That was early in 2016. He fought 3 times in 2016. Also wins over Kenny Hill and Brandon Bashal. So Chris Wright in the cage. We'll tell you more about Cala in a moment. Back to Jennifer.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, please welcome Dylan Cala.
Dylan Cala, Jim O in Charlotte, North Carolina. Interesting with his camps, right? He's really developed a lot with the camps that he's in Charlotte and others that he's taken part in.
Well, of course, out west with the lab, you know,
right.
And that's, of course, Jeff Gimo, a tremendous coach. And really, you know, Scott Holtzman does a tremendous amount of work with Gimo there in Charlotte. But, you know, the lab, those camps, they're extensive, they're big, and they give him the diverse training partners that a competitor on this level needs, requires. Now, the fight with Jeremiah Scott you mentioned earlier, that one really stands out to me. I was there cage shot, I called it. And, you know, Scott, known for being a fiery personality and tolling forward and putting a lot of guys on ice, he was unable to do it. Dylan Cala shut him down and really delivered in that fight.
Take a look at the tail of the tape in our main event here at Valor Fights 41. It's presented by Ogle, Elrod, and Burrill. Bantamweight title bout for the vacant belt. Chris Wright Jr. and Dylan Cala. Cala 7 years younger. Wright 2 inches taller. The experience advantage for Wright, and Cala with a 4-1 record. Wright 8-6-1. Wright weighed in at 135.9. Cala at 134.9. Dylan Cala 6-1 as an amateur, 4-1 as a pro. Cala turned pro in late 2015. Started as an amateur in 2012. Wright has been around for a lot longer. Chris Wright has been fighting since 2009 and turned pro in 2010, and really has extended that career and had some gaps in his career at different times, but he's a guy that brings a lot to the table and is very confident and very boisterous as well.
Yeah, man, I'm just so excited for this fight. It's what I've waited for all night long. You know, that co-main event was great, but this is the one, man. This is the icing on the cake.
Dylan Cala is in the cage. Our main event is almost here in Elizabethton, Tennessee. Valor Fights 41. Official introductions. Back to Jennifer.
This battle is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the Hog's red corner, he weighed in at 135 pounds, holds a record of 8 wins with 6 losses and 1 no contest, and fights out of Rufus Sport in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Chris Wright Jr. And his opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the OEB blue corner, he weighed in at 134 pounds, holds a record of 4 wins with 1 loss, and fights out of Jimmo in Charlotte, North Carolina, Dylan the Future Cala.
I need you both to listen to my commands, obey my commands at all times. Most importantly, protect yourselves at all times. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Back to your corner, ready to fight.
No, thank you on the touch of gloves.
You saw that look in Chris Wright's face. He's as real as they come, brother.
Jimmy Neely, our referee, in our main event of Valor Fights 41 for the vacant Valor Bantamweight Championship, presented by Ogle, Elrod, and Burrill. Chris Wright in the black and yellow trunks. Dylan Cala in the red trunks. Here we go. 3 5-minute rounds in Elizabethton.
Chris Wright pressuring early.
Cala chin down and stalking. Wright looked like he was motioning Cala to come in.
Here we go. Chris Wright lands a left hook right out of the gate here.
You can tell Cala that just like he has done, stays calm. He looks like he will stay calm.
Well, filling out process, big right hand by Chris Wright, but Colin closes the distance here. And so begins the quicksand style of Dylan the Future Cala. Wow, Chris Wright, beautiful takedown defense here. Defending the inside trip not once but twice.
Try to get head position, Chris. Get your head under his chin, under.
Gerald Mearshart in the corner of Chris Wright.
We've seen a few upsets tonight, Vince.
We have. And beautiful matchmaking as always by Valor Fights. Minute and a half gone by in round number 1, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. And they separate.
Yeah. Dylan punches off the break, and Chris Wright responds.
Wright not very active in the stand-up.
No, and allowing his back to get closer and closer to that cage, which definitely works to the style of Dylan Cala.
He's kind of pawing that front arm, but not jabbing with it. And there we go. But he ate a punch.
Oh, big shot there by Chris Wright. Very technical battle.
Cala continuing to stalk.
Wow, both men collide.
Cala keeps that chin tucked at all times.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. Change up there. Beautiful left head kick by Dylan Cala. Oh, big shot there. Body shot by Chris Wright. It looks like Dylan Cala is cut over the left eye.
It's in a tough spot, too. See if Wright tries to pounce.
And it looked like that body shot hurt Dylan Cala. Chris Wright continues to load up here. You know, Chris defended that takedown so well, and that, again, is a signature of Dylan Cala. He's been able to take down everybody he has fought at will. He is unable to do that right now. Could that be affecting his game here, his mental control?
Corner wanting Wright. Wheel kick there by Cala, didn't connect, but corner wants straight down the middle shots from Wright. Combo by Cala.
And back to the clinch.
Minute and a half left in round number 1. Bantamweight title on the line here at Valor Fights 41.
Get your hips low. Circle the head to your right. There it is. Nice.
And now Chris Wright turns Dylan Cala against the cage.
There. Yep, put it right up in his chin. You're good. Underhook again. Underhook.
Wright really listening to his corner.
Hips low. Underhook. Go back to the underhook. Underhook, Chris. Underhook. It's open.
Wright has been terrific with the takedown defense.
Undoubtedly, and that's something he said. We spoke with him on the Valor Hour as well, and he said, man, all of the guys at the gym wrestle with me. They all say Chris Wright's too strong. And he wasn't lying. I mean, he is very solid in that clinch game.
Same thing. Circle those hips to the right. Use your head too. Don't let your head be lazy, Chris. Get your forehead back in there. Get those hips low.
This is exhausting, too, for both guys, isn't it?
Undoubtedly. People have no idea. This is actually the most exhausting part. That was a beautiful elbow there. I don't know if it touched or not.
I haven't seen any blood for what looked like a cut from Cala.
Yeah. Closing it on 10 seconds in the round. Oh, wow. Beautiful combination there by Chris. Landing that shot, closing the distance with a knee.
That was a little bit late, but I guess he was in motion.
Yeah, he's getting one more in, one more shot.
Wow, so who do you score that first round?
Chris Wright, undoubtedly, man. He controlled the whole thing. He stopped the forward momentum of Dylan Cala and delivered a lot of nasty shots, particularly that body shot stands out to me. It kind of rocked Dylan Cala across the cage a little bit. I didn't get a good look at it from this vantage point, but I saw the after effects.
I thought until that point in the stand-up, they were both doing some good things, so it was fairly even. But yeah, that really changed things in Wright's favor in that first round.
I think that with Dylan Cala unable to get it to the ground and really keep it in the range that he wants to, it takes that control away, and really he's going to have to dig deep now mentally and be strong, because Chris Wright right now, you can tell he's very strong moving into this second round. He is faster than Dylan Cala on the feet. His counters are much more crisp. But we've seen the tide turn moving into the second round before.
And didn't get a chance to see a close-up. Maybe we can see it of Dylan Cala if there was any work done to that cut or not. It looked like a cut, but we really didn't see any blood surface at all. And a timeout is called. They're working on the door still to the cage. So actually, they're going to work on the
glove malfunction.
Yep. Some extra tape work for the very versatile Jimmy Neely.
You know, we've talked about it before with the southpaw stance. It can work in two ways. If you're faster than your opponent and you stand southpaw, you can get off on guys that aren't expecting those shots. But if you are the slower of the two, then you can catch a big right hand as well, and and the left hook. So, it's a double-edged sword in these positions. Dylan Cala standing primarily southpaw here.
Cala, excuse me, because Cala looks like for a lot of time he tries to range to his right as a southpaw. Oh, big kick.
Oh, that was
stunned
a big
Wright.
shot.
And another head kick.
Yeah, right on the run, right on the run.
Boy, those are clean. Oh, big elbow on the charge in, landed by Cala.
Yeah, now Wright locks up that rubber guard looking to tie up Dylan Cala. He could still be hurting. I'm sure he is. Chris Wright is very good. He has a very good poker face. So if he shows damage, it's definitely hurt him.
Hard to get a good view from our vantage point cage side. Cala on top. Minute gone by here in round two.
This is the thing, too. If Chris Wright ties him up and does not permit Dylan Cala to open up, they're going to get a stand-up.
Yep. That's a great point.
And that may be the strategy of Chris Wright here.
And allow him some time to recover if he is still a little
That's right.
stunned.
Absolutely. So, you know, we're not seeing Dylan Cala get crazy, step up. And, you know, it could be that Dylan Cala is perfectly content right here. At this point, if he keeps Chris Wright down, you know, he's on his way to winning the round.
He has been pounding the body, though. Little shots that Jimmy Neely can see that not everyone can from their vantage point.
Chris, open up that guard a little bit. He's just trying to hold you against the cage.
Little offense from Wright from the bottom.
Hip to the side, Chris. Get off on an angle.
Head up against the cage. How tough is it from this position to try to get up for Wright?
Very difficult in this position, a closed guard. If it was a butterfly guard, much easier. It allows him to post on an elbow and start to climb back up. In the closed guard, his own legs block him from escaping. So he is limited to the guard submissions, but then again, the cage itself can obstruct that as well.
Boy, Cala's been raining down a lot of short shots to the body. I think he's trying for an elbow. He hadn't been able to get through, though. Wright tries to posture up. On his butt now.
And again, locking up that rubber guard style lockdown.
Crazy flexibility.
And this is what I've been talking about since day one with Dylan Cala. It's that smothering style of pressure. With that being said, here comes Chris Wright. Back from the dead.
Oh, another takedown by
Another
Cala.
big takedown.
Wow, very impressive. And now with some space, see if he can rain down.
Chris, you gotta get up. You gotta start working for a submission. Let's go. Don't stay down there. Open that guard up, Chris. Keep your hips. There you go.
Oh, here we go. Chris Wright looking for an arm bar.
Extend your legs there.
Cala's going to slide
Yeah.
out. Yep.
Up, up, up.
Here we go. Allowing Cala to progress here. Chris Wright locking up an unorthodox position here.
Cala just punching at the legs of Wright. Separates him back to the body. Oh, a kick. That was a kick to the head, I think, from Wright of a downed opponent. I don't know if he meant to, but he connected.
Yeah, again, a very squirrely position here.
Pick a side. Get on the side of your hip. There.
Oh, here we go. Chris Wright possibly looking. He's set up here for a heel hook. Of course, that's a 50-50 position. It could go either way.
Pull that foot towards you and face it.
Dylan Cala trains with Jeff Gimo, who is a leg lock master.
Hey, face it with your hips a little bit, Chris. Punch your knees towards him a
Cala,
little bit.
you're trying to help his foot across the body of Wright.
Yeah, well, he's keeping that foot posted down on the ground, and he's watching very, very carefully because if his hips shift to the opposite side right there. Chris Wright looking for that heel hook.
Come up then, Chris. Come up.
Very, very dangerous position for Cala. However, he is visibly up in this round. He's got to watch.
Oh, kick from Cala to Wright's face. Wright looks the worse for wear. 10 seconds left in the second round. Both on the mat, can't kick, right? To the face?
No, if you cannot kick to the head of a downed opponent, that means if you're on your back, obviously you can kick up because your opponent is standing, but on the ground, you've really got to watch that.
I'm pretty sure we saw that from Cala to Wright, and we saw Wright sort of kick up on Cala before, so they both kind of got away with it, it looked like. And let's see if we get a look at some of that second round action. And
So 1-1 in my estimation
Okay,
here.
I was going to ask you.
Yeah, and this is 3 times a charm. Each fight is 3 individual fights, and
Take us to this replay here. See what we see.
you see the lock, the lock here in the 50-50 position, and it's all Chris Wright.
Bam, right there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he was intentionally doing it, but there was a little pop there for sure.
Trying to separate and maybe caught some chin, but nonetheless, very even if you put all of it together, right, Casey?
Yeah. Yeah.
Our third and final round, 5 minutes to decide a bantamweight champ in Valor fights.
Welcome back, Chris. All he wants to do is jump in on you. Straight punches down the middle. Keep the numbers up. 1-2-1. 1-2-1. Keep it simple. 1-2-1.
Right, not active with the hands.
Keep going. Keep going.
There we go. Even exchange for both.
Hey, if he comes in, slip elbow until you hit.
Shoot in by Cala, stuffed by Wright.
Oh, here we go. Looking for that no-arm Darce. Dylan Cala completes it. He's on the back of Chris Wright.
Wow.
You're good, Chris. You're good. Shake, shake, shake. You're good right there. Yep, kick that leg. Don't go down. Back up right away, Chris. Then you gotta
Going for the neck.
You gotta turn it towards him, Chris. Watch
Minute
out.
gone by in this third and final round. Cala looking for a submission.
Yeah.
Back in the half guard, Chris.
Exactly where Dylan Cala wants to be. Stretched out
Circle back up.
is Chris Wright, but he continues to move here.
Work up. Let's go.
Full mount now.
Wow, just as Dylan Cala raises up to strike, Chris Wright bumps him forward. That is a sign of a veteran right there.
Looking for a leg. Pop, look for a
Watch
leg.
those bridges.
Keep going. Look for a leg, Chris. Don't let him settle.
A very technical fight.
Let him settle. Go, baby. We gotta move. We gotta move.
And you notice there that those bridges, they keep Cala down. Again,
We gotta move. Keep moving. Keep moving.
Chris Wright safe for now, but certainly losing the fight if he stays underneath this position.
Chris Wright's corner wanting him to keep moving. Gerald Mearshart
Worry about his head.
and Rufus Port,
Close to you guys.
camp from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 2 minutes gone by in round 3.
All right, close to the cage here.
Go. Use that cage. Use that cage and come up. Sitting up. Sitting up. Sitting up.
Corner wanting Wright to sit up next to that cage. He's going to wall walk instead.
Yeah. Dylan Cala's pressure just too heavy for this position.
Pop. Yep. Up. Keep going. Get up. Don't get stuck.
Cala trying to stick in elbows. Hadn't been able to get anything clean.
Pop your hips, Chris. You guys
Well, again, the continuous bridge of Chris Wright prevents that, but Cala's sticking to him like glue.
Bring your body low to the side when you hit that hip escape. Yep. Keep going. Pick one side and just turn.
And I'll say this, Dylan Cala has had ultra exciting fights in the past, but man, sometimes you've got to get down dirty and get the job done, and he's doing that here. He's keeping that pressure down, and he's looking to win this fight.
Hips are low, Chris. Start bucking. Start bucking.
Longest fight for Dylan Cala since 2013 when he went into the 4th round and got a rear naked choke submission win.
Elbows. Get
Everything else has been first or second round wins.
Chris Wright looking to push on the knee of Dylan Cala to escape this position possibly. Every time he does, he catches that cross face or short left hand.
Keep going. Don't stop. Get them together here, Chris.
Cala opening up here a little bit. A minute and a half left in this fight.
Wright's got to make something
Yeah, he's looking for the arm triangle right now. This could be tight.
Push your hand, Chris. Push your elbow against his head. Push your elbow against
Half guard
his head.
position for Chris. Just over a minute left.
Now turn back to
He
the
survived, but can he get some offense going here?
side. Turn your hips, Chris.
Some sort of submission from the bottom might be his best opportunity unless he can somehow find a way to get up to his feet quickly.
Use that underhook on your right side, Chris.
Got to take a chance here, right? If you're right,
Yeah.
it might mean giving up your back.
Yeah.
Back in the
I think that he's doing everything he can. I think he's pushing and bumping, but Cala just so steady, so heavy, such good pressure and great balance. This is really his game. When he gets down and dirty, he knows how to slow it down. He knows how to put his opponents in quicksand.
And smartly enough has done enough from the top position so he doesn't get stood up.
Exactly. Well, he's in mount position. Very seldom will a fighter get stood up from mount,
right.
Typically speaking. But yes, staying busy.
Yeah, anytime he's been in top, he's been active enough. Now, let it go. Raining down shots on Wright. Final seconds of this fight, and it's over.
And the fight is done.
Wow.
3 rounds on the books.
Dylan Cala 2 rounds to 1.
I think so. I think that Chris Wright had it in round 1, and I think Dylan Cala made his comeback and did what he does. And I believe he will be the Valor Fights Bantamweight champion.
And I wonder, Casey, when you talk to him, if he will admit if Chris Wright was the toughest competitor he's gone up against.
I'm about to find out.
Casey's going to talk to our winner. Now, we're going to go to the judges' scorecard, so we think it'll be Dylan Cala. We'll take a look at the replay here as Cala executed that takedown and got the back of Wright and was able to continue for much of the rest of the round and likely the winner in the judges' scorecards. But Chris Wright Jr. was fantastic coming down from Milwaukee. And we'll see. We've been surprised before in the judges' scorecards, so you never know. But Dylan Cala, very impressive. And those takedowns and then the top position with activity, especially in that full mount. Got it done. And Dylan Cala hoping for win number 5 of his professional career. Chris Wright hoping for win number 9 in his pro career. Wright's career has lasted a lot longer than Dylan Cala, but Cala is, like his nickname said, the future. Our judges, Lisa Duran, Justin Brown, James Lyles. Next Valor Fights event, April 15th. It's Valor Fights 42, Hague versus Culpeper in Newport. May 6th, Valor Fights 43, Border Wars up in Corbin, Kentucky. And then May 26th through May 28th, right here in the Evolution Sports Gym in Elizabethton. It'll be the UMAF Nationals. You can get all the latest information on Valor Fights at Valor Fights on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, and you can see, of course, all the action for Valor Fights at valorfights.com and Flow Combat. All right, we're ready. The judges' scorecards are in. Let's go to the cage. Here's Jennifer.
We go to your judges' scorecard for decision. All 3 judges scored this fight 28-29 for your new Valor Fights Professional Bantamweight Champion, Dylan the Future.
Look at that belt, and Dylan Cala thinks it looks great around his waist. Dylan the Future Cala, the new Valor Professional Bantamweight Champion with a 29-28 unanimous decision win. All 3 judges' scorecards scoring it the same. Here's Casey with the new champ.
Dylan, man, I have followed you for a good bit now. You know, and one thing that has always stood out was dominance in your fight. You know how to control the ranges. You're like quicksand inside the cage, and you're able to control every aspect of the fight. Tonight, you got tested. The first round was very tight. You were able to battle back and get things in the second and the third, get things in gear, and there was that Dylan Cala dominance in place. Talk about the fight.
Yeah, man, I came out in the first round, it took me a little while to loosen up. I got in a little scramble and tweaked my knee up a little bit, so I had to switch the game plan up a little bit, but that's what I do. I adapt and overcome situations, and Chris is a great guy. I knew he was going to be a great competition, that's why I took the fight. He's had a lot of fights, I knew it was going to be a tough one. But I want to come out here and test myself. Once again, I want to dominate. didn't get the performance I wanted in tonight, but I got the win. You know, this is what I came here for. So just like to thank everybody for coming in. Have a great support system here. Got the best team, best fans here, man. I've got, you know, I can't thank everybody enough for all the support they continually give me. I want to thank Valor, Flow Combat, everyone, man.
This is your first time in Valor fights, and you've got that strap around your waist. Of course, Ronnie Lawrence, he vacated here just this week. You found out this was going to be for the title. I'm sure he's going to be ready to step up and challenge you for that belt now. You are the champion. Are you to accept that challenge?
Where you at, Ronnie? Here we go. I'm right here. Anytime, any place.
There you have it, everybody! Your winner and new Valor Fights professional bantamweight champion, Dylan the Heat Cala.